What's up, y'all? It's Jason. I just released a few indicators on TradingView that I've been using for a little while. I've been working on them for quite a bit, and I just wanted to release them to the public yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, I was planning on gatekeeping a little bit. Like I had a WAP account set up, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna print off these indicators. But I was on Threads, and I seen Alex Hormozy post. He was like, when your free shit is better than their paid shit, you win. And my free shit is pretty good, so let's see if I win. No. So the first one I want to go over, or the first two, because they're basically the same thing, is the divergence matrix. Um, when I made this, um, I was basically trying to replace SMTs with something that made more sense to me. If you've watched my videos, you know I do trade like primarily ICT concepts, but I do use the volume profile. I started using the DOM a little bit recently, but fuck the DOM. I primarily use volume profile and ICT concepts, and the problem I had with SMTs is just going off of swing points kind of felt random to me. And then also, I don't trade NQ. So looking at ES and NQ for a swing divergence kind of was meaningless to me. So I wanted something that actually tracked meaningful divergences and correlations across all of the major US indexes. Because I look at the four of these kind of as a bucket. I used to trade all four of them, but now I primarily just trade RTY and I look at ES sometimes if RTY isn't presenting opportunity. But that's not what this video is about. This is about the divergence matrix. So this is what the full version looks like. I can show you on the chart really quick. It just takes up that like bottom pane or bottom panel on your chart, and it shows you everything. So you can see they're color coded. The red line is RTY or M2K, yellow is YM, purple and Q, blue is ES. Um, and they are normalized because you know like ES, NQ, YM, and RTY all move in very different ranges. So I had to normalize it so we can stack them like this. And you can also see their relative points of control here. They're pretty transparent, but you can see them. The reason I'm looking at divergences based off of the point of control is one, we already know that the point of control is the highest transacted price point over a given time. You know, so you can select your anchor on here. You can select if you want an overnight point of control, a 24-hour point of control, rolling 4-hour, rolling 24-hour, static overnight. So you can select the range it's looking at, and from there you can use those correlations. Knowing that these four assets are correlated, you can use this tool to know like what's leading, what's lagging, and kind of predict where price is going to go based off of that. So really quick, I'll just go into the description really quick. The Divergence Matrix is a volume profile based multi symbol market sentiment scanner. This tool tracks four contracts against their volume profile anchors to spot meaningful divergences in real time instead of basic price swings. It uses a custom point of control calculation to show you which indexes are truly leading or lagging, giving you the ability to see all divergences or correlations across multiple assets. So the reason this is useful is because instead of just going off of, oh, this made a swing high and this didn't, this did this and this didn't, you can actually see how much they've moved from their highest transacted price according or compared to the others. So let's say, let me just find a random example. You can do that constantly. The point of control will change, the price will change, the distance from point of control will change, and the status will change. So you know if we're trading above point of control, at point of control, under point of control, or what. And the the most simple way to use this is you want to see market agreement. You know, if you're looking if you're looking for if you're looking to take longs and you see that every asset is actively trading below its point of control and going lower, that's not the time you really want to be looking for longs. Or perfect example here, you could see RTY flipped green first. So in this case or in this moment, RTY is the leading index, right? Let that pop up. I'll try and pause it in time. So here you can see RTY is leading. RTY was the first to come back to its rolling 4-hour point of control while everything else is lagging. So you can look at RTY as either the strong index or the leading index. What you can do with that is use this as a prediction tool. So if you're trading ES and you know RTY is leading, and it's pushing above point of control, you can expect all of the others to follow. Here we go. The others are lagging behind, but boom. Eventually, everything caught up to RTY. You can see RTY is still in the lead, almost a full percent over its point of control, um, with YM and with ES in second. So you can see they're going to follow each other. For one, they're correlated assets, but two, banks and institutions aren't just looking at ES and NQ. If they're positioning themselves in the market, they're likely positioning themselves across the entire market. They're taking broad positions. So you want to see how the full market is affected. Looking at ES, NQ, YM, and RTY pretty much gives you a full look at the stock market, not just the top 500 companies or the top tech companies. It's giving you everything from small caps to blue chip to tech to the general stock market with ES. For someone that's been working in video production for so long, I suck at making videos. Like, this is crazy. But I just recorded a whole other little segment. My camera wasn't on. Like, I'm bugging. So yeah, that's a brief overview of the divergence matrix, a quick example of how it can be used. There's a ton of different ways you can use this. I highly recommend y'all look into just correlated assets, divergences in general, how they can be used and how they've been used for ages, outside of just like your SMT. I'm not like an SMT hater. Like I said, it didn't make sense for me in my trading. Um, there's tons of people that use SMTs. SMTs are like a valid confluence, but to me, I wanted something based off of real data. And that's why I chose like the point of control and built off of that. So yeah, like I said, I recommend y'all doing your own research on it. Go ahead and add it to your chart and just see how these correlated assets move together and how sometimes they don't move together and what that does to um, the market that you're actively trading in. So yeah, go check it out. They're available on TradingView. I will link them in the description if I can. YouTube is honing me on this account, saying like I have to have this. I think it's because I haven't had the account very long, but I have to do like some type of verification. I don't know, but if I can post the link, I'll post the link in the description. If it's not in the description, I will put it in the comments or something, or pin it somewhere along the video. Um, so yeah, that's the divergence matrix. I don't know if I mentioned earlier there are two versions. There's the full version that gives you the full chart, this one, and then the light version is just a small table. I've recently only been using the light version because this is just kind of ugly. Like, it's nice having all of the data and actually being able to like visualize what's happening, but I would catch myself turning it off and just using the info table. So I just convert it to an info table. There's two versions. If you want the full thing, you can use the full thing. If you just want the table, just use the light version. So yeah, I don't want to yap too much. I can yap about this all day. That's the divergence matrix. We'll see y'all in the next video. I'm about to record it right now, so don't gas me for wearing the same shirt. Peace.